All right, guys, this is Chore Store, and whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, we're Chore Store. I'm Lily.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Steven.
Chore Store is a website that motivates kids to do chores through competition and online games. The first question I have for you all is, did you do chores? I want you to raise your hands if you did chores consistently while you were growing up. For those of you who have your hands raised, good. For those of you who didn't raise your hand, then I have some bad news for you. We looked into studies done by Harvard University and the University of Minnesota that said that chores were the best predictor of success in careers, personal relationships, and good mental health. While this information is clearly informative, there's a disconnect. We also looked into a survey done by Whirlpool, an appliance manufacturer, that interviewed over 1,000 parents. 82% of these parents said that they did chores while they were growing up, but only 28% of these same parents assign their kids chores nowadays. Assigning kids chores can be tedious and cause tension, which is why most parents just decide to do it themselves. This leads us into our problems. Kids aren't motivated to do chores, and kids don't know how to do chores. People who often experience these problems are parents with kids aged 6 to 11. Kids in this age group are young enough to be incentivized by games and competition, but old enough where they can do chores on their own.
For all the people with this problem, we have a solution for you. Chore Store is a website that motivates kids to do chores through games, rewards, and competition. So our website will have two pages, a kid page and a parent page. And as you can see right here, this is a parent page. To the left will be the kids' names, and when you click on a kid, like Jimmy, there are two columns, the done chores and the add chores. And the done chores is where the parent where the kid, after they finish a chore, it goes here so the parent can approve it after they see that it has been done. So then this is what the kid page looks like. The kid's name will be all the way to the left, and their total points will be under, and then the chores assigned will be in this column, where after parents assign their kids chores, it goes automatically here. Then there will be the finished chores, and all the way to the right will be the leaderboard, where kids compete with their friends and family, and the top scorer every week will receive points for the game. So how the game works is kids have to get points from chores to play the game, and this is how they're going to be motivated. And all the way to the top will be the total bananas, which will be the total points. And each kid receives their own treehouse and their own customizable monkey, which is their character. And at the bottom will be the Chore Store menu, where you can add decorations for your treehouse, and you can also get prizes. So our competitors. We found out our competitors are My Chores, ChorePad, U-Rule, and Chore Monster, but after a little bit of research, we found that Chore Monster was our biggest competitor. But when we went on their website, we realized it's really hard to manage and navigate, and they also gave really bad prizes for their kids. For example, they gave like a bowl of rocks and a headless bear, and I know if I were doing that, I would definitely not be motivated to do chores. So that's definitely something that sets us apart. We have fun rewards for the kids, and we also have how-to videos, as I forgot to mention in the solution. For the kid page, there are question marks next to the chores, and if a kid doesn't know how to do a chore, there will be a video that pops up, and it will show them how to do it. So that's what sets us apart. And we also have the competition aspect, which will definitely motivate kids. And lastly, our website is very easy to use. So our market size. Our TAM, the total addressable market, is $360 million, and how we got this was from reaching people in the U.S., and we are targeting the families with internet access and families with kids aged 6 to 11, and that reaches roughly around 10 million people, and our cost per unit is $2.99 a month, but the customers will have a yearly subscription, so that would be $36 for 10 million people. And for the SAM, the serviceable addressable market, that is around $12 million, and how we got that number was from reaching people in Lake and Cook County, English speakers, and families with a household income of over $60,000, and that reaches roughly around 350,000 people, and with the same price tag, it's the $12 million.
As you can see, over the next 5 years, we have a steady predicted upward trend. Year 1, solely marketing in Lake and Cook counties. Then by year 2, it's the Chicagoland area, and then by year 5, hopefully, whole United States. How will we generate this revenue? As stated before, it's $2.99 a month for a 12-month contract with a 66% renewal rate. predicted renewal rate. Year one, we aspire to reach out to 1,500 families. Then by year 5, 11,000 families. Our SG&A costs by year 5 is $74,000, and it goes into 3 main categories: the domain name, website hosting, and PayPal. We decided to use PayPal for security on each transaction, and for the security, it takes 3% of the payment. Marketing costs, website maintenance, Facebook ads and flyers. Facebook ads and flyers are our main marketing tool to use to contact parents of the kids, and salaries.
So our minimum viable product is to get rid of risks that we have, and we have 2 ways to do that. The first way we're going to be getting rid of that risk is through our concierge. Our concierge will be testing if our leaderboard does motivate kids. We're going to be doing that by taking 3 groups containing 10 parents each. Each group will have a different age range, one being 6 to 7, one being 8 to 9, and then the next 10 to 11. And so we're doing different ages to see if different kids get motivated, or kids of different ages, if they get motivated differently through the leaderboard. And parents will be emailing us the chores that their kids do, and we'll be posting our own leaderboard on Facebook every week, and the winner will get a prize. The second half of our minimum viable product is our landing page. We're doing this to get emails, see who's interested, and get a list of potential customers. We're going to be mainly marketing through Facebook because that's the cheapest way to contact a large number of our customer segment. So an idea of what our Facebook ad may look like is something like this that shows our leaderboard, and that will take them to our landing page. So we want to get rid of the risk of getting customers and keeping customers. So through our landing page, that's getting rid of the risk of getting customers, and we would like 30 to 50 emails because we think that's a solid number of potential customers that we could reach. And our concierge will be getting rid of the risk of keeping customers because that will give us feedback if our leaderboard does motivate kids. So right away we want to start creating our landing page as well as creating our flyers. Within a week we want to be done with the design for both of them, and then we will start advertising on Facebook as well as handing out our flyers in local areas. April 10th, we would like to be done with our first concierge and then get our feedback, and then we would like to start a second concierge before our final pitch.
So here's the total we're asking for. We're asking for $485. We want our landing page to be good quality and look nice, so we're asking for $70 to make that. And then Facebook ads and design is the bulk of what we need for our MVP. $300 of these dollars are going straight to Facebook for advertising. This will get us around 40 to 70 clicks, which, as Steven said in our key metrics, that's around a good amount of emails that we'd like to receive. 50 of these dollars is for ad design, so it'll be appealing and then overall receive more clicks. $35 is for flyers. We are making our own flyers to alleviate as much cost as possible, so that's just for the materials for our flyers that we'll be handing out around the Barrington area. And lastly, like we said, we'll be running 3 concierges with prices of $10 each for each age group, so that adds up to a total of $30, which all in all is $485. We know you want your kids to be in the 28% of people that will grow up to be more successful in their careers, personal relationships, and have a better mental health. With Chore Store, we give you an easy solution for that. Thank you for listening. We are Chore Store.
Well, you did a great job of explaining what the problem is and why it's an important problem to solve. And I love the idea of gamification to encourage kids. But I really don't understand the basic thing of where you're getting the app to do that game. That wasn't covered, and I didn't see any costs of how running the company. I'd like to see the breakdown of how much you are spending on salaries and web development and that sort of thing before we jump to, and I'll just be direct, before you jump to spending money on Facebook for advertising, I'd like to, step back and say, what is your actual solution that you're trying to validate? And how are you gonna get there? What if it is successful, then what? How much money do you need to build that app? And who's gonna do it?
And is it an app?
And is it an app? Yeah, I'm assuming that, that's a great question.
It's going to be a website, and we, through our research, the initial development will be around $3,500.
That's, I can pretty well 100% tell you that is a really low estimate for building a website game. And I only say that because that's an industry that I'm very familiar with. It's not going to happen for 3,000, so that's my concern. But I do think you have a very good start. If you can go back to your page, I'd like to maybe suggest you step back to your core essence that is really a great idea. Yeah, here, where the parents are assigning chores and you're getting points, and the kids then are going to the website, or the parents are to fill that out, and then they're competing on the leaderboard. That's like the core idea. You don't really need the game is to spend points, right?
Yeah.
But I think you could at least validate this part and have a business have a website that does this. And then maybe the prize is something in the off-world, like a game at Walmart, or parents to say, if you get so many points, you can use your points to buy these toys, and then the parents buy it for them. There's other ways than to just go out and start building apps and games, because it's really going to be expensive to do that. And try to validate, would an online game that's manual, because it's really manual at this point. People have to input that data. It's not manual, it's not magically entered. Maybe you could come up with something along those lines. Anyways, that's my initial
So let's
thought.
build off of that though. So the MVP, the Concierge MVP that you're doing, is one where you're not going to use the website, correct? You're just parents are self-reporting and giving chores back, right?
Yeah, it'll be based off of our Facebook page that we've already created.
Okay. Is there a way, without the gamification part of it, that you could have a simple website where parents log in and interact with the website, and kids log in and interact with the website, that you can better prove out whether they're going to use technology to kind of facilitate this type of chore? I have a feeling that if you don't do that, and you rely on kind of the self-reporting manual deal, you might get a head fake on the results of the MVP, that it might really not validate. It might be a great solution, but you've made it too difficult for them to track everything without the website. So
I think you're really onto a concept here, though, that needs to be figured out more. It's a fabulous idea to try to motivate kids to do chores, especially the way you presented the problem. Kids that do chores, they're motivated to do chores, learn habits early on in life, and do become successful later on. So that's a really worthy cause. It just, I think the solution needs to be fleshed out more. You've got the start of something here.
So tell us about the developer, that $3,500, and who is it?
Well, right now we don't really know who it would be. We're just looking different prices up online while we're going through that part of the
Okay.
business.
We were gonna see if maybe like a student here that does like a class could possibly help out with that.
Yeah. Okay. And
Did you do any customer interviews and things? Tell us about that. How many interviews? What did you ask, and what were the results?
we did 20 customer interviews. We asked parents at the Barrington Library in the daycare area about if they would use this service and if they would find value in using it.
And those were just problem interviews. So that was
What
at
about-
the beginning of the semester.
What about kids? Did you interview any kids?
Yeah,
We had a survey actually near the beginning of the semester too that we sent out to our elementary school teachers, and they had their kids take it, and we asked them like what would motivate them to do chores, like what would they like to receive for doing chores if they did chores, their age, and all of that.
And what were the results?
We actually were surprised. A good amount of them said that they didn't mind doing chores, except a lot of them said that they'd be motivated to do chores if they got money for it. So Those were the main two things that we pulled out of
Did
there.
did that give you a reason to pause to say that they might not be as motivated by the gamification, they're motivated by an allowance?
Yeah, but I still think that they'd rather be motivated by something than the nothing that they're motivated by now. So to explain that further, like by having the game there, they're already not getting allowance for doing their chores, but then by having the game there, that's just another reason why they would do their chores.
In your customer interviews or problem interviews with the adults, was there any questions around their willingness to pay for the service?
We did ask them about how much they'd be willing to pay, and a lot of them said they would, but they want to pay a pretty low price, so that's where we got the $2.99.
Have you thought about other ways to generate revenue besides having people pay for the app?
I know we've looked at ad revenue, and then also a while back, I'm not sure if we're still thinking about this, but we looked at like OEMing with cleaning supply companies so that they can like advertise their cleaning supplies if, like for example, like we said that we would have videos of us doing chores to explain to the kids how to do them, and then having like maybe like a coupon for like a cleaning supply or like an advertisement for a cleaning supply line.
How do your competitors generate revenue?
Chore Monster in particular, we did the most research on. We did a BMC in class here too on them. Generate revenue pretty much solely through their subscriptions, and they have a little bit of ad revenue too.
So they have ad revenue and there's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Do you know what the monthly subscription is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
You know what might be an interesting MVP for you guys? If you could get 10 families to actually do this online, because you can do this with Google Forms. You know, you don't need to have, actually you can set up a website, use existing free products, have 10 families, put it in place, use the MVP money to buy 3 pool prizes for kids. So if they do it for the length and they earn enough points, then they can get those prizes. Then you can use the MVP money to buy them the prizes. And then interview them at the end. After a month, were they still willing to put their, update their chores? Talk to the kids and the parents, like, was it really worth it? Would you renew after a year and get feedback on the actual solution? Because you could, if you can validate that part of it, that actually the interaction between assigning chores, manually putting it in, gaining points, and then using points to buy something to motivate them. If you can validate that, you could always expand your company in your second, when you're seniors, to add a game, and I think mobile's more important for your age group than the web. But,
Mobile though is so expensive.
Yeah,
That's the reason why we
exactly.
chose
Yeah, no, I would strongly recommend that you go website like you are
Yeah.
with a optimization for mobile.
That's what we were
Down the road, right?
Now, when you do that's very inconsistent with charging a monthly subscription. So I don't know, in fact, I don't know of too many programs that have a monthly subscription with a mobile optimization. But let's put that to the side because we only have a few minutes. So what you're hearing is take this like SurveyMonkey or Google
Right.
Forms. Instead of doing a Concierge MVP, maybe think about, did you guys learn about the Wizard of Oz MVP? Maybe go Wizard of Oz where you collect all the data on the website from the kids and the parents because you want to prove that that's a way that they're going to interact. And then do all the data Wizard of Oz behind the scenes. I love the idea of giving them some money to use for the prize, but to even further build on what Carr was saying, what if you said, hey, there's X amount of money for prizes. We want to have the parents and students direct, however, they can give the kid cash, they can give them a gift certificate, and you just want the results of what they eventually give, so you can see, gosh, 4 out of 10 parents gave cash. 4 out of 10 parents, gave McDonald's
They'll be
gift
learning
cards.
there.
Then you'll find out
See what's
a
really
little bit
valuable.
where people are voting to give their
And
prizes.
put all your cute little monkey stuff, I love the monkeys and the banana, put that on the website. Use those graphics to make it fun for the kids.
All right, we need a decision.
So go back to your MVP. yeah, you could probably spend the same amount of money, just reorganize
Put
it.
the 350 instead of Facebook ads, put it into prizes. How's that?
Well, you won't, yeah, and the landing page now, you'll just
Is that
do
just
through
gonna be
Google Forms. It'll look like a website, or maybe even create a simple website.
You might need a domain name or something.
You probably need a domain name, but through Weebly or something like that. Have you guys learned, have we taught website design here yet, Cogs?
Yep.
So can you guys think you can pull off a simple website by yourself? Okay.
I also have a friend that earlier today also offered to create a landing page.
There you go.
Awesome.
Leverage that.
Yeah.
Okay, what we got?
All right, so what do you want to do?
485, but go back to Hogs with how you're gonna spend it, because we're giving you some feedback on reallocation. Is that all right?
So we're
Hey,
saying
you
450.
guys, it's a great idea. I hope you can actually pull this off because it could really help a lot of kids in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.